I've literally tried like 6 times just now to say hello, like just to start this video. And I've been weird and awkward every time, so forget it. Hi guys, who am I mad at? Myself. Why am I being so weird this morning? But today we're gonna do a coffee chat, just chill, get ready with me video. I brought, let me show you a little behind the scenes shot. I brought like all of my makeup from my bathroom. I literally have so much makeup to pull from today, stuff I've been loving, stuff I'm trying out. So that is what we're gonna do. I think I'm gonna try the Milani Supercharged Dewy Primer. I used it a couple times since I used it in the first video where I mentioned it. It really just, every time I use it, I'm reminded of the Ole Henriksen stuff. Like, it smells exactly like a lot of those like vitamin C products, like the Truth Serum. It smells exactly like that. Honestly, I kind of love the smell, but I could see where it might rub people the wrong way, or if your skin is sensitive to fragrance, like this definitely has some kind of fragrance in it. But it just always provides a really nice hydrated base. I actually put on my SPF earlier today. I do feel like so far it's worked fine putting this over SPFs, but I do feel like if you put it on a glowy SPF, it's a little much together. Oof, I need some lip balm. My nose is like extra red today. And anytime something weird's going on my face, you start to become like a scientist and you're like, now what has changed? What have I done differently? What has been happening in my life? And you just like try to figure out and pinpoint exactly what it is. Like I have a little pimple right there and I'm like, now what have I been doing differently there? Did I use a different brow product? Was it hairspray? You really try to like figure it out, and I almost never do figure it out. So there you go. I'm gonna mix the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Dewy Foundation, one of my favorites, with my Misha BB cream. This one is almost gone. To mix these, I usually will just put the Wet n Wild on, and then I also tap on the Misha in various spots and just kind of blend them as I'm going with my sponge. So a couple of like life updates. Okay, I'm kind of doing this weird. Why have I forgotten how I do this? I have something I'm not quite ready to share with you guys yet. An exciting thing that's something we've been working towards for a while, and it's finally like happening. And I'm so excited to share it with you guys when we finally do. Something work related that I am very excited about. Like I said, I'm just not quite ready to share it yet, but I think in the next few weeks I will, because there will be changes that you will notice if I don't mention it. So it'd be like the hugest elephant in the room, but I am very excited about, so stay tuned. My hope is that this change that we're making will make it so that I can do 4 videos a week instead of 3 over time. It might take some getting used to for a while, but that's kind of my hope, is that this will make us more productive. We'll see. I'll share more about that later. I'm so excited. Can you tell? Oh my gosh. And it's something that we have, I mean, again, I'll explain more about that in the future. Okay, first of all, are you kidding me? This combo was beautiful. I swear, anytime I mix this Misha BB cream with literally anything under the sun, it always makes it look better. It's insane. Anyway, so like I said, we'll talk more about that later because I could gush about it now, but I will save it for a future video. Put your guesses below. I'm kind of curious, like the way that I worded it, I'm curious of what you think I mean. And some of you might be right, I don't know. But in other news, I want to create another little bit of merch. But I want to hear from you guys. Like, what would you be interested in? My problem with creating merch is I always worry that if it's too specifically me, that no one will want it. Like, I always try to make it more generic. So my latest merch that I had was like YouTube and tea and YouTube and coffee, like mugs, because I thought that's not just so particular to me, so maybe more of you guys would be interested in it. But I think the problem with that is, I'm trying to remind myself, like, Jessica, this is your merch. It's allowed to be more specific to you. And I've heard from a lot of you guys that say, I wish your merch was more Jessica specific. But I don't know. I just feel so weird about that, because who am I? I don't know. So long story short, I'm going to try. I'd like to do something more specific to me. So one of my older merch launches had like It Is What It Is on it. And I would love to include that again, because that is definitely something I say an insanely gross amount. I don't know. I want to hear from you guys. Are there certain things that I say sometimes that you think would make good merch that you'd maybe be interested in? Are there certain things you'd be interested in? Like, would you be interested in like reusable tote bags, things like that, versus like coffee mugs and stuff? Maybe you want like a t-shirt. Are you more interested in just like loungy t-shirts that you wear around the house. So just let me know your thoughts on that. If there's something that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Jessica hasn't launched merch that says this. That's what I want to know, because I feel like what may be obvious to you isn't as obvious to me. I don't know, because I don't watch myself every day because I have to live with myself every day. By the way, the concealer I just used is one of my like top favorites ever from Shiseido. It is their Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Concealer. I have it in 103 Fair, and it is one of my favorites because you can just go like that throughout the day and it just like blends it back into your fine lines. It's amazing. I love it. I recently tried something at Starbucks and you guys trolled me so hard because I was all pumped and excited about it that I like discovered this new drink for myself that I really liked. And so many of you guys were like, Jessie girl, everyone's been talking about that forever. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm out of the Starbucks loop. We don't go a crazy amount. So when we do go, I'm always excited to try something new. Well, I discovered their iced shaken espresso. It's so good. For me, it's the perfect blend between not being too sweet, because a lot of iced coffees are so sweet. Like the McDonald's iced coffee is the sweetest thing I have ever had in my life, to the point where I'm like, I literally have never finished one all the way. It's so much. There's definitely a sweetness to it, but the espresso you can taste in there too. So it's like the perfect mix. It's not too black, but it's not too sweet. I love it. But they do have other versions of the shaken espresso. They have like the brown sugar oat milk one. They have like a chocolate one. I haven't tried those yet. A lot of you guys have said you've successfully like made those at home. So I want to try that at some point, but I haven't yet. I haven't even really looked into how to make it. But we have an espresso machine that we love, so we could certainly make the espresso with ice and stuff and shake it. But I need to figure out what sweeteners or what they're putting in it to make it the way that it is. I was very excited about that. I wanted to share. So if you haven't tried it and that sounds good to you, I would recommend it. I know a couple of my friends have texted me and have tried it too, and they were like, oh my gosh, it's so good. Because I'm all for like a super sweet drink, but I have to be in exactly the right mood for it, and most of the time I'm not. Sorry, I needed total silence for this. This is the Benefit Gimme Brow in 4.5. So another question I've gotten a redonkulous amount lately is, where is my husband? He's here. He's in that room right there. So we had done the weekly vlogs for a year, like a full-on year. And we finally decided to stop because you know what, y'all? We loved doing it and having that connection with you guys. And there's a part of me that misses some of it, but it's a lot. It's not just that it's a lot of work to edit and do that every week, but it's also, it takes a lot out of you to like kind of live your life, even when you're off the clock, if you will, to still be on the clock, like always thinking, oh, we should film this, we should vlog this. And the other piece of it is we both kind of decided we want to limit how much we show our daughter. It's something that we'd kind of been thinking about a lot lately. And we just decided, you know, there's weird people. And while every part of me wants to share so much about her and any future kids we may have, I don't know. We just feel better about not showing her as much. It doesn't mean we're never, ever going to show her, but just really limiting it. And so with the vlogs, it was growing increasingly hard to like in our minds grapple with like, well, how are we going to do this? You know, a lot of you guys watch them because you want to see our daughter and how she's growing up. And it was just hard, okay? It was just a lot all at the same time. So we feel really good about the decision to stop. Doesn't mean we're never gonna do vlogs like that in the future, but I don't think they'll be regular like that. Again, we will probably do some version of Vlogmas come December as well, but all of that to say, Tyler is still working. He has his travel agency, so that takes up his days. So it was growing really hard for him to find the time to edit these videos and do that piece of it when he also has his job. He's got employees of his own that he's trying to also do, and that's full time, you know? So he's still here. A lot of you guys are like, is he gonna do any videos on his channel? I know that he's planning to. Like I said, things are changing, things are in flux, so hopefully soon you will see more on his channel because he wants to share some of his own stuff, and hopefully this will open up some time for that. So never fear, Tyler is here. The Bare Minerals Faux Tan. It's a loose bronzer, so I usually will get it in the cap like this, and then I just use a brush, obviously. But it gives like an incredible bronzy glow. Like it's gonna be my favorite this summer for sure. Oh. Sometimes you can get a little heavy-handed with it. But the thing about this is it blends in so easily. So I'll just grab my sponge and it's just like, Perfect. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's so good, you guys. Yeah, that's about the most you need, honestly. And I just try to swirl it so it gets a little bit more evenly on the brush. So right now we are watching my sister's dog, Nala, and she is like 8 or 9 months old, and she is like full size just about, but she is still such a puppy. And so it's been so funny watching Nala and Pinocchio, our beagle, who is like 5. Oh gosh, she's gonna be 6 this year. A lot more calm now. He was a wild, crazy puppy for the first 2 years, but he's very calm and he's such a scaredy cat. So when she tries to play with him, he is terrified and he just like jumps into our arms like he's such a baby. But Nala, she's just so like not used to her limbs. So it's so cute watching her like walk and run around because she's just all strings and limbs. Like she just doesn't know how to be in the body that she's in. It's so cute. But we also didn't realize about Pinocchio is that he's a very clean water drinker, which we only learned because Nala is one of, you know, she just blah, 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 and it just drips all over our kitchen. And Pinocchio is just so like dainty about it. And you know what? We've had her for a week now, the day I'm filming this, and we've got her for 1 more week. And she has been so good. For a little 8-month-old puppy, she has been such a good girl. I want to use, Stila Lilium. This is the one I bought. I know I've talked about in some other video too, because they said on the set of, I almost said Downton Abbey. Nope. What is the show? Bridgerton. On the set of Bridgerton, apparently they use this shade a lot. It's a cream blush from Stila. Stila has been making this forever. Okay, there's a brush here and there. I'm gonna need to get out or I will go insane. Okay. So it's just like this really pretty kind of lighter pink. So I also have another shade of this, but this may be my favorite, honestly, for my skin tone, but they have a lot of different shades. I will say this, the way these look online, like on Ulta's site, the colors are not at all what any of them look like. So I would say look at swatches of these convertible colors because none of the way it looks on Ulta is correct. I don't think a single one is. So just, I would not base it off of that. Also, my daughter, Genevieve, is gonna be 3 in June. Look at how pretty that color is. You have to tap a lot off though, because it can like really pack a punch. But I like to just go kind of ham. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And then again, just blend it in, and it does such a great job of blending into the skin, but it still has like this really pretty like glow to it. Not like shimmer, but like literally glow. Oh, baby, it's so good. And this lasts really well throughout the day. This is not gonna like withstand wearing a mask all day, but just in general life, you know what I mean? For a cream blush, it is one of the longer lasting ones. I think it might be time for me to change this sponge out. I think it needs to go. How long do your sponges last? Like, you know, you clean it and stuff, but like it with general daily-ish usage, how long do you keep a sponge for? I'm kind of curious because the ones I use are a lot cheaper, so I don't feel as bad, but I do think they like start to rip up, you know what I mean? And so I don't know if that's because these are cheaper ones, but I will say this is still my favorite sponge I've ever used. That's just what I use. I got rid of like all my other sponges, I think, at this point. I kind of want to use my ColourPop Wild Nothing palette. This is just so pretty. But anyway, yeah, I can't believe she's gonna be 3. Like, the idea of that is insane to me. I just can't believe it's been 3 years since I had her, but that also means that, you know, pregnancy-wise, it's been, you know, almost 4 since we were, like, pregnant with her. It's just, that's insane to me. But the amount that I've changed as a person is wild. I don't know, man. Like, I just feel like my viewpoint on so many things, like, I used to be so nervous about, like, what people would think about me, like, dumb things. And I know I'm not alone. Some of you guys are gonna be like, but it'd be dumb things. Like if I'm going to a new place, like I'm gonna say doctor's office, because that would be a very good example for this. If I'm going somewhere new and I don't know like what door to go in, where to go, and I'm worried that someone will see me and see me not knowing what I'm doing, that would make me so nervous. Like, I can't explain it. It's just something I've dealt with my whole life, and I know a lot of you guys out there probably feel the exact same way. I feel like now, I still have some of that, but now I can compartmentalize that as, Jessica, stop, who cares? And I don't feel like, I don't know if it was just getting a little bit older or if it was having a kid, but I definitely feel like a lot about my viewpoint on things has changed since having a kid. And I think because it kind of has to, like you have to do, I just think as a parent, you have to do uncomfortable things sometimes in the name of parenting. And that kind of forces you to be a little bit braver, as maybe silly as that sounds, I don't know. But I do feel like I've gotten braver as a parent. I just do. And I'm so thankful for that because it's kind of an an annoyance. I don't know. It is kind of annoying to like be constantly anxious and nervous about dumb stuff like what door to enter at a place so that you don't look stupid. Like, who cares? So that is one thing that, as hard as being a parent can be, kind of forces you to grow the heck up. I almost didn't say heck, but by the way, so I just put Spirited all over the lid. I think I've created a little bit of hard pan there, so I need to like scrape that. But then I used Top Down everywhere, and now I'm using Vagabond. I love the shade Vagabond, just as like a creasy type color. So I was watching Raw Beauty Christie's, actually her like get ready with me style chatty video the other day that she just put up. And she's like 5 or 6 months postpartum, and hearing her talk about a lot of that almost made me feel validated in what I went through. Because it sounds like it was kind of similar to hers. Like, it's hard. But you do get to the other side, and watching her talk about that just reminded me that, like, wow, now being much farther on the other side of postpartum, I can so clearly see everything I went through. And I also now know that, like, if we have another kid, I know that I need to get help right away if I'm feeling that postpartum depression that I definitely had. And, you know, just different things that I can see. And, like, I needed to get outside more. I needed to go on more walks. We did. But I feel like if I had made that a priority to do it every single day, it would have helped a lot. It wouldn't have fixed everything, but it definitely would have helped. Or even just getting out and running errands more often. I would always feel like I have to stay at home with the baby. I have to. But I think if I had a couple times a week gone out to like Target and gotten a few groceries or whatever and just had my own time, that would have helped too. Because I just felt like I had just totally lost myself, you know? I say all this now, and I don't know, man. We'll see what future, if I do have another baby, what future postpartum life will be like, you know? You never can tell, and every baby's different. I want to do that thing again with the brown eyeliner with the Mario, where we just kind of like, with the brush on the other side, like fluff it out. I just have been loving doing that lately. My face is looking a little greasy. We might have to powder it down in a bit. I just love how easy that is. You just literally go fwop, 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 and it's creamy enough. And then once it sets down, it stays in place really well. But this is just such a good freaking eyeliner, man. And the fact that it has that little brush on the other side is what, for me, makes it. Because if I had to drag out another brush, I would do it. I mean, it's not, my brushes are literally right here. But you know what I mean? It's nice to just have it right there so you can just go. It's hard for me to like talk and do this, so I might just have to keep going without you guys. I cannot do it. Also, I'm legally blind in this eye. And so a lot of you guys are like, Jessica, don't stretch your eyes out to do it. First of all, I'm sorry. I'm not talented enough to do my liner without doing it. But the other thing is, when I'm trying to do my good eye that I can like see really well out of, I literally can't just shut it because I can't see out of that eye. So the idea of that sounds great, and that's why I kind of have to stretch it out so I can still see out of this eye to do the liner. And now that I've been doing that for literally years, that's just how I have to. I've gotten so used to it. So it's kind of one of those things that it was something I almost had to do, and now I've just gotten so used to it that for the other eye, I do it that way too, you know? All right, this, by the way, the color I was using in this liner is the perfect brown. I have the black one too, and it's just as good, but I don't know, the brown is really dark too, and since I'm smudging it anyway, I feel like it looks really good. There's like a trash, like our city trash and recycling thing is right outside, and it looks like they're giving us new trash cans and recycling cans, but I'm like, I don't think we asked for that. Sometimes we do need the second bin of recycling though, so I'm like, well, I wouldn't be mad about that, but I don't think we have any space in our garage for it. All right, I need to set down a little bit of this face because it's looking a little crazy. I'm gonna use the LYS powder. Some of you guys have asked, is it Lis or LYS? According to the brand, it's LYS. That's why I've been saying it that way, but every time I read it, in my head I say Lis, so it's like, it's kind of funny because it stands for love yourself. But this is I don't love this all over my face since I have drier skin, but I love it on my under eye. Look at the difference. But I was going to go in with more of my Age Perfect creamy foundation, powder foundation, but I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible matte one, the Fresh Wear, whatever it's called, because I just feel like I actually need the mattification, because that Supercharged primer plus what I put on, I just feel like is a lot. And I don't feel, the Age Perfect is mattifying, but this is definitely more mattifying, and I think I just need that today. I feel like the creamy powder foundation, the Age Perfect one, is a little more like satin. Yeah, baby. Side note, ever since I tried this the other week, the number 7, the Full 360 Ultra Mascara, wow. wow, I can't stop using it. It's so good. And I hadn't tried this, obviously, by the time I did my drugstore, like ranking drugstore mascaras video a few weeks ago. And I have a favorite from that I've been loving. Actually, like 2 favorites. But I'm like, dang, add this one to the list. It's also really good. But it is a big old wand, so it's kind of one of those things that, like, you better be prepared. But I love it. You can kind of layer it up a bit, but it adds volume insanely fast. And it's not super dry. It's not super wet. It's kind of in between. I mean, look at that. Oh my gosh. We're trying to decide how we want to deal with, like, Genevieve's birthday. A lot of our family and friends have gotten the vaccine, so that's not as much of a concern. So especially come June when we would have it. So we're trying to decide. We probably will still do it like outside just to kind of be as safe as possible. Usually in June it's pretty nice. But I'm trying to decide like if we did like a little theme, because we didn't do, I don't think we really did anything for her birthday last year because it was amid everything. I think we just did it ourselves. Trying to think of like if we did a theme for her. She's super into, of course, like all Disney princesses and stuff and Frozen and all that. But she also like loves Cocomelon. She loves Baby Shark. Sophia the First, she doesn't care as much about the show anymore, but she has her Sophia the First doll that's like her lovey, like that she sleeps with every night, like she just absolutely loves. And it's so funny, we only got it for her because at the time she was like really into the show, Sophia the First, and she was getting her tubes put in her ears when she was younger, like probably a year and a half ago now. And we got her this doll as like a surprise at the little doctor's office that she was getting it done. And she instantly loved it, and it has been her lovey ever since. It's so funny, and it's kind of giant. If we had known this was going to be her like BFF, we would have gotten a smaller one. But we did end up buying a backup, and she understands. She calls it New Sophia and Old Sophia, and she still just wants Old Sophia, but she can appreciate New Sophia when Old Sophia is being washed. So it's just kind of funny. This mascara is the bomb. I just cannot get over this volume. It looks like I'm wearing fake freaking lashes. By the way, in my hair, I used the Dream Cream from Ava NYC, and it smells so nice. It smells so nice. It's kind of like a leave-in treatment for your hair. You know what I mean? I'll spray a detangling spray and brush my hair out, and then I'll get this Dream Cream and put it all through my hair, typically from like here down. I don't put that kind of stuff in my roots because I get oily hair quickly enough as it is. But even just air drying, like it's not really frizzy. It's just kind of like soft and touchable. So that's kind of nice. It smells really good too. I did not put a highlighter on. I guess we could throw one on. It's probably overkill at this point, but I just love highlighter, you know? Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I did want to use the other side of this Charlotte Tilbury duo. I did this the other day in a video, and so many of you guys were like, oh my gosh, I love it. I'm like, I know, I do too. It's the Hollywood Exaggerized Liner Duo, and there's the metallic and matte side, and this is like the charcoal black and like the pearly like champagne color. And I love the pearly champagne color on the lower lash line. It looks so pretty and just kind of celestial. I usually will just kind of draw it on and then just take my finger to very lightly blend it so there's not like a harsh line where the metallic ends and begins, you know? But I just feel like it adds this slight little glow that's almost undetectable. It only takes, I mean, that took me like 1 second, but I feel like it does brighten the lower area a little bit. One of you guys mentioned that in my like trying your beauty hacks video. I need to do another one of those soon because I learned so many good tricks, including this one. So thank you. I especially like this when I'm not wearing like mascara on my lower lash line, which is honestly most days right now. I have mentioned that I'm looking for a drugstore dupe for this. So if you have any you think are like creamy but really stay in place, but that are that similar kind of almost whitish champagne color, let me know. I'm on the hunt. Lips. Oh, okay. I want to talk about this. This is this Rimmel Stay Plumped lip gloss. I think it's the shade 210, and I think the name of it is $19.99. It's a whole bunch of numbers, so I'm like, I think that's the name of it. I do think it plumps, and this color is gorgeous. Like it's like your lips, but better to the max for my lip color. Perfect shade. But it definitely has that plumping tingle, not like the Buxom, like weirder, and it's noticeable. So I don't know yet if I would recommend it, you know? And it has this smell that's like a weird candy. Like it kind of smells like ribbon candy, you know, the kind like from Christmases long, long ago. It smells like ribbon candy, but like cinnamon. Like ribbon candy that's been sitting in a box that used to have Red Hots in it. That's what this smells like. But the color, man, is it not like the most perfect, just like chill? And I do think it makes my lips look nice. So if you don't mind that kind of a tingle and you don't mind the kind of cinnamony candy smell, you might like it, but like I said, the tingle's there and it's not painful, but it doesn't feel the same as like the buxom stuff that I love. So I just wanted to give that caveat, but I do like it. So by your own risk. Anyways, so that is all. I will have everything I used linked down below. My top, by the way, Walmart. I'll link it below. I bought it online, but I hope that you enjoyed this. If you want to watch more of my coffee chat videos, I will link my playlist of them down below. You can binge them. And if you haven't already subscribed, I would love it if you did subscribe. And if you are subscribed, please turn on your notifications because that will let you know when I upload a video, a new one. It will push that out to your phone. And as I always say, I like to lurk in the comments the first hour or two. I upload a video and comment back if I can to some of you guys because that's always when I'm like the most excited about the video, the first few hours it's up. So other than that, I'd love to say hey to you on my Instagram as well. It is at It's Jessica Braun. It's also the same on TikTok. I need to film another TikTok this week. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.